Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another Gotham Knights video. In this one, we are going to be delving into a new leak out of Amazon Italy that has opened up pre-orders for the game prematurely. It has since been removed, although people were able to see what was exactly posted when the game was posted in Amazon Italy. So let me read here from the article. I'm going to read it in full. It is translated from Italian to English, so there might be some grammatical inconsistencies and such. So bear with me as we read through this, and then we will talk about what it all means for Gotham Knights. Particularly if you're not getting a next-gen console, or if you are getting a next-gen console, either way, wherever you want to play Gotham Knights, this will affect you. And a lot of people are not going to be happy about this. Let me explain here, and reading now from mondocsbox.com. Last August, Warner Brothers finally announced Gotham Knights, the new Arkhamverse title in development at WB Montreal. That is false. Okay, so we're already at one inaccuracy in this article. And while Rocksteady is busy with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, the game is expected in 2021 for both Xbox One and Xbox Series X. But today we find that it probably won't support smart delivery. And we have two separate versions, aka SKUs, for old and new generation. Smart delivery means that your copy of the game on the Xbox ecosystem is usable across both PS4 and PS5. And what they're saying here is that that will not be the case for Gotham Knights, which is why people will be upset. Amazon Italy has in fact opened today the pre-orders for the game, putting in pre-orders for both the Xbox One version at a price of €70, also playable on Series X, but only in backwards compatibility, and the Xbox Series X version is more at €74.9. Judging by the provisional cover, it will give access to both the native Xbox Series X and Xbox One versions of the game, but for a slight surcharge. So yes, people are going to be very upset about that because there are two versions of the game. It is not the situation, aka smart delivery, where you just buy the game in the PlayStation ecosystem, buy the game in the Xbox ecosystem, and you can play it on your PS4 or PS5. If you don't upgrade to the PS5, that's fine. You just play it on PS4. If you do upgrade to PS5, well, it just shows up in your apps as a game that you can play, and that is smart delivery. So Gotham Knights, it appears, will not be doing that, and there will be a surcharge. So it's kind of this gamble, right? Of like, if you know for sure you're going to get the Series X by the time the game comes out, which is looking between summer and end of year in 2021, so between 6 months to a year from now. Could be sooner, we'll have to see, but if I had to guess, probably about 6 months from now. If you're going to have a Series X in 6 months when the game comes out potentially, well then, perhaps you want to invest in that more expensive version. Otherwise, if you're not, then you could get the cheaper version, but then you have to rebuy it. So if you buy the $70 version, the €70 one, and then you end up upgrading to the Series X, you will not be able to play that version of the game on the Series X because presumably it will be of lower quality and it won't be as well rendered as the other game on the Series X, aka the next-gen console. More in the article here. Buyers of the game will therefore have to be careful with what they buy because Xbox Series X owners could risk getting the Xbox One version without optimizations. A similar confusion has recently arisen with Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which followed the same release model with a €74 Xbox One edition playable on Xbox Series X in backwards compatibility, as also indicated by a small writing and cover in the Xbox Series X edition for €80, which includes optimizations for the new console and also the old-gen version, but at a slightly higher price. In the case of COD, there are also two separate versions of the game in digital, with Xbox Series X and S owners forced to purchase the cross-gen bundle to get the right edition of the game. So on Xbox Series X, you can actually play your Xbox One version of the game, which is that €74 version, but it is not optimized for the Xbox Series X. So they are basically stonewalling you from getting the premium version of the game. If you buy the Xbox One version, you can put it in your Series X because it's backwards compatible, but you're playing the last gen version of the game. And I don't know if you've seen, say, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare or Call of Duty Ghosts between PS3 and PS4 gens. It was a drastic difference. If you were playing Call of Duty on the PS3, it looked terrible. And if you were playing it on the PS4, it looked fantastic. It's going to be the same situation here with Gotham Knights. It's going to be no comparison between the next-gen version and the old-gen version. And I think it would have been more ideal for them to just charge €75 and be able to put the game on your Xbox Series X or Xbox One, and it will play at the best version it can on whichever hardware you're playing. In this case, if you buy the cheaper version, it is sort of capped out at that lower res last gen resolution and specs and frame rate, Whereas if you buy the more expensive version, you can play still on both consoles, but it's artificially allowing you to, play in the highest specs. So really, it's just a limiting anti-consumer move from Warner Brothers, and not really great. It's something that Call of Duty is getting flamed for right now. It has really affected their launch. And then there are other games where, we're doing the smart delivery, and that seems to be much more positively received. And looking here, the difference is €4, €5. Is it really worth upsetting your fans for, €4 per sale? Potentially. I'm not on the back end or business side of game design. I know it's incredibly expensive, but these games are also pretty expensive. I mean, €75, that equates to be, I think, around, $70, right? So these games are expensive for the consumers. They're expensive for the companies to make, and they need to make a profit. I get that. But I do think that smart delivery, just broadly speaking, seems like the way the industry should be going. And it's a shame that they're trying to get you to buy the game twice on Xbox One, or just artificially limiting the experience you can have if you pay $5 less on the Series X. Okay, back to the article here. Given that Gotham Knights is scheduled for next year, we would not have expected a similar policy from Warner Brothers, which is sure to cause some confusion in consumers due to the very similar covers between the two versions as well. It happened with the Activision title, Call of Duty Black Ops, that is. To make sure everything is simple and immediate, it would be enough to support smart delivery, as many titles do. So there's another interpretation to take out of this here. As the article acutely points out, it's a little bit weird that if Gotham Knights is coming out in 2021, that they would not do smart delivery, because that's what all the other games in 2021 are doing. Well, one positive inclination there is that they could actually be targeting a Q1 or Q2 release, because if they're still doing the old model of not having smart delivery, then that's what games that are coming out right now have, like Call of Duty Black Ops. And the reason that they have that is because, well, a lot of people still are not going to get their next-gen consoles this year, so they're still emphasizing the last-gen model. In fact, the last-gen version of Black Ops Cold War and Miles Morales are probably going to sell more than the PS5 versions, because a lot of people are not going to be able to afford the new consoles right away. So they're accounting for that, and I think that Gotham Knights also will account for that. So the smart delivery is something we're going to see integrated fully for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, because the next-gen consoles will have already been out for so long. In this case, I think that this could be a very positive inclination for us, because other games coming out in 2021 do have smart delivery. The fact that Gotham Knights doesn't, although it does kind of suck, it is a little bit anti-consumer, and there are downsides to it. There is this huge upside with the fact that we could actually be getting the game pretty early next year, based upon the fact that smart delivery is not included. Finishing off here in the article, however, we hope that this is just a mistake and that Warner will deny it soon, confirming the game will fully support smart delivery. We will keep you informed. So I don't really have much to add on this whole story. I mean, smart delivery is obviously the way to go. It's the way the industry should be moving. And the only positive that we can take out of this, which is a substantial one, I mean, it's not small at all, is that they could actually be eyeing an early release here. And all we can do is hope that that is the case. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see. But I think that Gotham Knights does have a decent amount of momentum, and coming out showing gameplay right away, that is also a strong inclination that they're pretty far along. Even though it's a pre-alpha build, that was several months ago as well. So I think that they've made a lot of progress on the game in the last few months, and hopefully we'll be seeing it as soon as possible going into next year. There is still that possibility that it won't come out until November of 2021, so that it's still 12 months away. But part of me really is hopeful in the fact that they showed gameplay so early that we'll be seeing the game very, very soon. And it's also going to be one of those games where there's going to be a long quality of life to it, with more DLC characters coming from the Bat family, which I cannot wait to see. So my question for you is, which DLC characters would you like to see in addition to Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, Red Hood? What other characters would you like to see playable? First of all, for me, one, Batman, obviously. I think that would be great as a DLC character and still subvert the problem that they have with not wanting to undermine the Bat family, which I totally get. So maybe putting Batman in as DLC would be cool. Azrael, obviously, is towards the top of my list. And, of course, we got to have the Arkham Knight skin. We got to have the Nightwing 90s comic book skin. We're going to have the Batgirl New 52 skin. lots of skins and DLC character talk to come on the channel in the next couple weeks, so be sure to stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.